Hello.
Hi.
I am so excited for today's live. It's been so fun to interview my clients and put them in the hot seat. So I appreciate you hopping on here.
I know I'm a kind of nervous, but we're here.
It's okay. There's nothing to be scared about. Honestly, lives, it's just like a conversation with your coach like we do all the time. So it's okay. Okay, so let's dive into things. So kind of tell me a little bit about your fitness journey, kind of where you were at before starting with our program and Purpose Athletics, and then kind of where you're at now. I know you can take as much time as you want to explain it all.
Yeah, so before I started coaching with you, I would say I was relatively active, but more so outdoorsy. I hiked a lot in the summer, but then when it came to winter months, I was not really about the gym. I've done the gym in the past and was really consistent with it, but I would go through those fad not diets, but yeah, diets too, but would kind of go through those and get really motivated for 6 to 8 weeks, and then it kind of just fizzled out and I'd be back to square one. So I guess I was kind of just looking for the accountability aspect of it was the biggest thing for me, because I mean, you can go, but if you only go once or you a month or something, that's not holding yourself accountable at all. So, yeah, that's kind of where I was at beforehand. So, yeah.
So yeah, it's so exciting to see how much you've grown too, because I remember our first conversation, you kind of laying out all of just what you talked about, and then looking at kind of you now, in your journey. So kind of explain where you at now, kind of what did we kind of go through the past 8-9 months, and then we can hop into some other conversations.
Yeah, definitely. So when we first started, I think like I said, accountability was a huge thing. And just making sure I had somebody, not only myself holding me accountable, but somebody else. And then nutrition was a huge aspect of it, that when I had tried, getting fit and losing weight and stuff in the past, where I wasn't really taking that into accountability as much. And so implementing that in a healthy way, which is a huge thing, because you see all these different diets and they're yo-yo you back and forth, and I had tried everything and it was just not working for me. And so it was really nice um, you know thinking that it doesn't have to be all or nothing, which was a huge mindset that I've kind of switched into as well. It's okay to go out once a week. It's not going to stop your progress. You just get back into it the next day and keep going. And I think it's definitely I was having a lot of gut issues when we first met, and I think I remember talking to you about that. And I think just finding a good balance with food, and not eating so much processed food, eating good sustainable food for your energy, because I think I remember saying I was really tired all the time too, and that's definitely helped me. And water was a huge thing too. Getting water in, and just finding something that works for you, and it's not a one page fits all kind of thing. And so just kind of working through that process through the last, we're almost coming up on a year here now.
Yeah.
That and just figuring out what works best for me. And yeah, I kind of just encourage others to do the same, because you see all those diets keto or paleo or whatever else, and I think I was even thinking about doing Whole30 when we first met, and I'm so glad I didn't, because you look at Whole30 and it's no. You cut out so much, and that's not a sustainable lifestyle at all. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would totally, throughout our coaching have really focused on that sustainability aspect, because one thing about Bri is during this time, how many vacations have you gone on, fun weekend trips, did you ever feel super deprived or anything? You probably felt pretty balanced, right?
Yeah, no, and I just have to go, you always mention 1% more. And so even if I take a weekend off, I travel frequently. I'm young, I don't have kids. I try to take advantage of that while I can. and or like around holidays, like, and that was kind of something that intimidated me at first because we first started coaching like right before like Christmas, New Year's, like all of that stuff. And so, and we like didn't start a cut right away, which was good because when you're first trying to get into all of that, that's not realistic. And you know, it's okay to like enjoy yourself on those holidays, or like, you know, if you have a family barbecue, it's okay to like, you know, like intuitive eat versus like I have to track every single thing and weigh out every single thing. You know, just like getting the hang of how to track too. And so knowing that, you know, if I'm gonna go enjoy myself on a weekend away, that on, you know, if I'm back Sunday night, Monday we're going, you know, back to meal prepping and to the gym and stuff like that. And it's really got me into like a routine, which has been really good for me too. So yeah.
Yeah, totally. And I always like tell people when they join this program and stuff, like, we're not just like giving you some quick fix. Like, this is about building healthy habits and like a lifestyle that's going to be something that you have those tools in your tool belt like for the rest of your life, which is exciting. Like you said, like going to a family barbecue and like feeling confident in your nutrition decisions. And even if you like kind of go a little bit overboard, like knowing that it's okay and just getting back on track the next day, I think you're like a true testament to like, you know, kind of having the best of both worlds of like, you know, being focused on your fitness journey, but also not being that all or nothing, like kind of having that like kind of gray area that I always talk about too. Like there's going to be a little bit of a gray area, and that's where we're going to get like the best results and also not sacrifice our mental health either, because we want to be able to go enjoy those experiences with you know, your family and stuff. But I think, you know, having a coach, having someone to like see your blind spots as well. Like I know like a lot of times we've been like chatting about, you know, like even when you first started and I was like, hey girl, we're not going to start a cut, we're actually going to optimize your macros, you know, who wants to cut during the holidays? Like not me, and like we're not doing that this year either, probably. Maybe we can talk about it later. But I think it's always really cool to have a coach to kind of guide you along the way. And that's one thing, you've been like very receptive to like all of my feedback. So like that's like what a good client is made out of, is like, okay, I'm going to take Abby's advice, I'm going to implement it. If it doesn't work, then we can kind of go back to the drawing board. But you've been really great about all of like that kind of aspect of it too. So last question I have for you is like, what would you tell someone who's like maybe skeptical about like starting coaching or like starting fitness journey in general?
I think the biggest thing is it's an investment in yourself. I know one of my hesitations at first was like, you know, the investment of it. Like cost wise, I'm like, okay, like, you know, you budget it out and you figure that out, and it's worth it for sure. Like, and I just remember like thinking to myself, like, okay, I'm paying for a coach now, like I have to do this. It's not like you go on the internet and buy some like gym workout thing that costs, you know, $20, and it's like, I'll go when I go, you know, you've got somebody checking in with you every week. And so it, you know, it's kind of that pressure to be like, oh, I have to do this, you know? And so I think that's really, it becomes an investment in yourself for sure. And I, you know, 10 out of 10 recommend, like, 'cause it's not even just fitness, it's nutrition as well. And so like, I feel better because I'm eating better and I'm, you know, active and getting out and working out. And, you know, it's okay to like, you know, if you miss a workout, that it's not the end of the world. Like if, you know, I was sick last week and you even were like, just chill. And I was still even just, you know, mindful of, okay, I'm going to go on a walk today. I might not be getting to the gym. And my mindset has completely shifted from where it was like a year ago. Like if I were sick, I'd be like, well, I'm out for, you know, however many long days or whatever. So, yeah, just the investment in yourself for sure. Like, don't be intimidated by that, and like, just do it.
I love that advice, and I always think, yes, it's always going to be kind of scary, especially when you do invest in yourself. You're like, well, what am I, you know, getting into? Like, can I do it? But I think if you have the motivation, you're like, I'm ready to achieve this goal, and I want to make that investment in myself to like change my life. Like you said, not only in like fitness, nutrition, but also with mindset and balance. Like, there's so many things that like fitness kind of encompasses. So. And I think I said that was the last question, but I have like one more quick question for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Bri signed up for another year with us, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
But what are you most excited for, like for this next year to like learn or just like to kind of go forward with your fitness journey?
I'm excited to see like personally, my personal results in the next year, because we just came out of a cut, we just reverse dieted, which let me tell you is a game changer. I'm like, oh, this is a whole new world. Like the fact that I'm eating more calories, I think, than I was last year, and I'm maintaining a lower weight than I was last year is like awesome. And I'm, in the gym more days than I was previously now too, because I've just been keeping up with that consistency. And so just making that commitment to myself and just like kind of building that like muscle underneath. And then when we go through a cut again, probably after the holidays, because like you said, not happening.
No.
And then being able to see those results. And so just like that's what I'm most excited about is, seeing that accountability to myself show in the next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And I'm honestly so excited to see your growth because, I mean, so far, we've worked together. We've done, a little maintenance phase, a cut, a build, and now we're like going to like a reverse slash build. But now we're going to build muscle. We're going to focus on that. And you've already seen so much like body like recomposition. Like it's crazy to see like how the scales like kind of fluctuated, but like your body looks completely different than like when you first started. So it's going to be super exciting to like go through all those phases again. I would say like the second time you go through all those phases, it's even more eye-opening of like, oh my gosh, you put in the work, you have all these skills. Like it's honestly a super exciting spot to be in. And obviously with accountability, changes the game. So anything else you want to like share before we leave? You've been an awesome interviewee.
No, I think really just like having that mindset of 1% more, like that's what I just keep telling myself. Like even if I'm getting like one more rep in more than I did, the time before, or if I'm feeling confident enough to like up my weight when I'm lifting or something like that, I think that's just like really the mentality that will really push you in this program for sure.
For sure. It's always just about like, not all or nothing. You can always be a little bit better. Like, what can I do? And just like moving forward in the right direction. So you've been awesome, Bri. Thank you so much. Hopefully someone resonated with this message. And honestly, I'm excited to see how this next year goes for you.
Awesome. I'm excited. So
Yay. Bye.
bye.